So we are on, guys, and that's
What a start.
That's a very special episode because it's our last episode when you're here, living in Stockholm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna celebrate this. Yeah. So guys, this is just a juice.
Cheers.
Yeah.
This is non-alcoholic alcohol, by the way. Chris told us to say that.
Exactly. And we also have a new stuff, new table. We have new console. So guys, right now, you cannot hear this, Jordan. You cannot hear this. I can hear this. I have ear pod.
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
So now we have jingles.
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been trying to push some meme songs and stupid songs, but it's like, no, only jingles. I'm like, maybe just a little fart sound, you know?
Yeah, we can have some applause sounds or stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it all the time and ruin the whole podcast, but
yeah, maybe don't ruin the podcast.
No, but
Not
some people
yet.
will appreciate it. Just before leaving, I'm burning everything behind, you know, like
all the bridges.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm leaving, but we're still gonna. I was about to say we still are going to have the same frequency, but we want to change actually the frequencies of episodes. So
yeah, we decided that we will have episodes every second week because it was just too much for us.
It makes more sense also, I think. I mean, it was very nice in the beginning to have it super regularly like this,
Yeah.
and to grow a crowd of people. But now we also want to keep the quality up.
Yeah, the quality, some reels. We actually just shot an interview. And guys, just follow us, comment, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, suit yourself _podcast. Just leave us DMs, comments, because actually it costs nothing and it gives us the exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people can find us.
Yeah, and the referencing goes through this. So a simple like is already a huge thing. And of course, commenting goes a long way. But also, it's super nice. I mean, I think we have more comments in real life by you guys than actually online, which is crazy.
Exactly. People on the streets just comment our outfits, and then I just say, if you like my outfit, maybe you should also listen or watch or both to our podcast.
Yeah, and some listeners are coming to us, and they're like, "Oh, I'm listening to you guys." And like,
everyone is so shy. But guys, this episode is very special because a lot of people follow us already. A lot of people already know us, have seen us at PT, and they assume that we only create the podcast and we just have this luxurious life. But today's episode will be about us.
I'm driving a Ferrari. I came with it today.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah. I also have Lamborghini, but in Lego.
Yeah, and we race all the time in Stockholm Street, you and I, but that we cannot say.
Yeah, we cannot, but we just said it. But yeah, this episode will be about us, about who we are, what we do. Very chill episode, actually.
And that's funny because I'm like, oftentimes you're saying, oh, you talk too much, you are going everywhere. And I'm like, okay, what is the structure of this episode? And you're like,
there is no structure.
There's no structure. I'm like, okay, well, you are playing with fire with this then.
Yeah. But we can create 2 episodes even. One episode will, no, we cannot do one
I'm
episode.
Feeling a bit almost stressed, actually. I mean, like, we have been recording a lot of times and we have been talking about what we like. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. But talking about myself, I'm a bit shy.
Yeah, but some maybe history. Okay, I can start.
Yeah,
maybe because guys.
Where were you born?
Yeah, you can also. Yeah, it's an interview. You can interview me. I can later interview you. Maybe
let's go with the flow. But I mean, we mentioned a bit that how we went to fashion and all, but I mean, we have a lot of Swedish listeners, so it could be interesting also to know how we came to Sweden in the first place. What brought us here?
I mean, I can start that I'm born and raised in Warsaw, in 1985. So I'm 40.
When you present it like this, it feels like very old.
Yeah, I am a middle-aged man, white man. Yeah,
Jesus.
the worst.
I'm just 5 years behind you, so you
So
say that.
so yeah, and in Warsaw, the capital. So I don't remember socialism in Poland, but I remember in 90s when Poland was pretty poor, and I was a personal trainer for 10 years, so it's still a big part of my life. I started when I was 15 because one girl broke my heart. Yeah,
So you're one of those guys. You started because you got heartbroken.
Exactly. Yeah, it was first class, first year at high school, and the girl was 1 year older, and it was a lot of drama with her mom, and oh my god, just moms should have some distance.
Slavic story.
I don't know if it is, but yeah. So it started like this. I started to train. It was really cool. I mean, those years when we just hang out with all the guys at the gym, we trained at bench press, 6 guys on one bench press, and I cannot imagine in Sweden people don't like to share.
No, I remember when I was living in Paris, I was not living in center of Paris. I was living in a city that is just above it. So it's very close to ghettos and all. And the closest one gym that was like almost in a cave. And I went there was like 10 people rolling on the bench press. Can you imagine? I'm going there. I'm like this little guy and I'm like, okay, can I roll with you guys?
But I guess they were very friendly even, no?
Yeah, they were, but it's ghetto, so they look at you like, okay. And since I was like bold, they're like, okay, well, do it with us and whatever.
I mean, I started at the gym that was in a church. It was some kind of special club for teenagers, for them to not go on the streets just to do something. It was a climbing wall, fitness studio, gym. It was also the black room when you develop photos.
Yeah, exactly. Dark room.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's called like this.
And but that was when you were 15, right?
Yeah, I was 15. Yeah. So I started with guys, with powerlifting guys. So it was pretty interesting because I was very curious and I was asking questions, too many questions. One guy was more into powerlifting, one guy was more into bodybuilding. Yeah. Then I changed the gym for a very, very bodybuilding gym with 2 Europe champions, Dariusz Karpiński and Marcin Jabłoński, like guys that weigh over 115 kilos, 130.
Okay.
So
that was in the late 90s.
No, I was 15, so it was early 2000s.
Exactly.
I started in 2004, I guess. 4, I think. No, maybe earlier.
Yeah, you are
Wait a minute.
from
In 2000.
85, so
in 2000.
Early 2000.
Yeah. I started then. And it became a big part of my life. I met so many people. It was so cool. And comparing Sweden right now, that you don't talk with people at the gym. Everyone is just in their phones. And
yeah, but I think I developed that also. When I'm going to the gym, I don't want to talk to people. So if I were to also try to do a little summarizing of my beginning like you, I grew up in Normandy, north of France, in a very small place. My parents were working like crazy. My father was a judge, my mother was a lawyer. So they didn't have so much time to take care of me, so I had a nurse. So I basically grew up in countryside, in a farm. And it was lovely. I was a single kid by then, because my first brothers only arrived when I was 5. But my father was also a martial art trainer. He was Taekwondo, black belt.
Yeah, you said that he's still active. He's still fit.
Yeah, I'm very fit. And that's also something. I think I went to the gym because I found that super unfair. Because I knew how to fight, basically, from a very young age, because I started at 3. But I was quite skinny, and I thought it was super unfair because my father was like strong and quite fit. And I was like, why don't I look like him? Like it's not fair. And
he was like this naturally.
Yeah, completely. And I was like, okay, but why? And he was like, yeah, patience, it's gonna come. It came later by working out. So I think that's what brought me there mainly.
To the gym.
Yeah, to the gym. And then it's like a drug. It's just, but also when you are.
How old were you?
I was probably 18.
Oh, okay.
Around 18, and I was just doing because things were not developed as much as they are nowadays. So
yeah, like bodybuilding, fitness gyms were just for a small group of people.
Yeah,
Everyone it wasn't mainstream.
No, and there were barely internet back then. So to learn things, you were learning a bit on your own. So
from forums
and just basic stuff. So
do you remember those bodybuilding magazines? Because I started like Flex, Iron.
But I was not really into bodybuilding, to be honest. I was. Yeah, exactly. You were really.
I still am.
Yeah, exactly. Me, I was just. The idea was like, okay, I'm gonna eat a lot and I'm gonna do a lot of push-ups and things like this, but that worked because I gained in a summer I gained like 5 kilos of muscle, which back then was a lot for me. And then everyone was like, okay, this guy did something.
I remember when I started, I weighed at 60 kilos.
Okay,
I was 15, and then after a month, I gained 7 kilos.
Yeah, you can gain a lot when you're in those young ages like this.
I took creatine. It gave me, so I had a lot of water, I guess, and I also ate a lot of cottage cheese, and so it wasn't just muscles, but I changed a lot, and it was like 6 or 7 guys that were from my class from high school, and we even had the privilege to eat during lessons.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone knew that we are the guys that's training. Yeah, and I started to train. I'm 175, so I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
For fellow Americans here. So I'm not tall, and I remember that that girl, I think she came back to her ex-boyfriend that was 190. So I wanted to be big, and I was also bullied at school. So when I started to train, they stopped bullying me. So they were.
That goes a long way.
They were just a bit maybe, I don't know. I got respect.
Yeah, and I think that's quite important. When I was in high school, I remember there was a lot of bullying. I always grew up in a very rough environment, and
you tell this in every episode.
Yeah, exactly. But you should guys know about me. I'm coming from the ghetto, but I remember that our game were more around drinking and stuff like that. We were doing a lot of shit in high school, and I'm surprised that we didn't get fired for what we were doing, because we were doing crazy stuff, very, very stupid actually. And that's by being stupid that you were getting respect from the others, or surviving it. And there was a lot of bullying. I was a bit bullied, but I was smart, so I was smarter than the other guys, so I was bullying them more.
Okay.
So that's in this type of environment that I grew up, but quickly it was feeling too small for me, so that's why I went at university to Paris as soon as I could. Environment was too small. I wasn't feeling that I was challenged by my environment enough. So Paris
for
was
some
very
people
good.
It's okay. They don't want to be challenged.
Yeah, but no, I wanted to do things in my life, and I still want to do a lot of things. So being in an environment that is too, I don't know, that doesn't bring you up was not working with me. So I went to Paris, and I met some of my closest friends also there. And Paris is, I mean, those were fantastic years. This city is lovely. Way too much drinking as well. I don't know.
What do you drink there? Wine, vodka, beer?
So it was a lot of. We were, the sport in Paris is just to sit down in coffees and making the word right, talking forever with friends.
That's why you want to have a coffee racer.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
But I actually miss this in Stockholm. Because cafes here, they are not cozy.
No, you don't have this vibe that you want to sit outside and just
talk with others.
Talk with your friends, talk about people.
I love that. I used to do that when I was a personal trainer. I just went to Starbucks because Starbucks was the nearest one.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and watched people and chatted with baristas.
It was so freaking cool. You had your friends, the baristas were your friends.
Exactly.
And you were always going to the same place and you want your special usual.
The usual.
And you thought you were part of something,
It's not happening here. Here, all those cafes are, they look like McDonald's. McDonald's back in the days was also cozy. But right now is just white.
It's like
tile and just eat and go away.
Yeah, exactly. So there was this proximity, and you felt that you were belonging to the neighborhood, that you were, I don't know, part of something, that you were a Parisian
But it's
guy.
still like this in Warsaw.
Yeah, but still in Paris, I believe it's still the same.
I don't know what. I think it's just too cold in Stockholm.
Yeah, you don't have this outside in type of vibe in Stockholm because 6 months of the year you just don't go out basically. So that was my years before. Because what brought me to Scandinavia is I think it's quite similar to you in the first place. So you met someone, right?
Yeah, but maybe I should also say something about studies. Yeah, because we just jumped from high school to Stockholm.
I thought you only went to the gym.
Yeah, I was a gym bro, but I also studied, and I also even organized courses for personal trainers when I was a personal trainer. So I was also teaching others.
Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty cool because that was something new.
But what did you study at school?
I studied from high school. I went to one university and I studied sociology.
Okay.
But that university wasn't great. I was not so interested. The subject is pretty cool because it's about people, about interactions. So it's psychology stuff, a lot of also math and statistics because you need to do those. Sociology is all about creating service and analyzing it. About learning about interactions between people, but their university wasn't great, and I did everything, but I didn't write my thesis.
Okay.
So, and right now I could actually have a bachelor degree if I just write and defend the thesis, but I need to do some differences. So I need to clear some other subjects that were not then.
What was your goal? What did you want to be?
I don't know, because everyone right now when people are 18, they already know what they want to do. Okay. But I didn't know, and my parents I'm the first in the family that actually has higher education.
Okay.
So because my dad was a mechanic, my mom was a manager in a pharmaceutical company. And my half sister, she's a cook.
Okay.
So I didn't have any experience. I didn't have anyone to help me. So I just choose sociology because it was popular.
Okay.
Back then it was politology and sociology.
But in France, there would be a lot of girls doing this type of studies. Was there a lot of girls?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Wondering why you choose this sociology then.
Yeah, there are a lot of girls on universities in Poland. More girls have higher education than guys, but also I didn't write my thesis, and then I started to be a personal trainer. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So because I was a manager of few nutrition stores.
So how old were you at this moment?
When I started, it was 19. I was 19, but
So 19, you were studying. You were becoming a personal trainer.
no, personal trainer. Actually, in 2009, when I was 24,
Okay.
there was a men's health magazine competition. I always wanted to look like those guys from on those men's health covers.
Yeah.
In Sweden, guys, you never had a men's health magazine, but it's a magazine with good-looking guys on the covers, like sometimes celebrities, sometimes fitness models, sometimes just good-looking guys. I always wanted to have a physique like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not too much muscles.
Yeah.
It's very fit. The abs actually you cannot pump too much your chest. So that it was this competition, and I already trained for a
It's
few
men's
years.
physics. I think the category in in bodybuilding.
No, it's just more like a fitness model or something.
fitness,
Because men's health, no, those categories are very different right now. But it was men's fitness, something like that. But men's fitness is usually bigger, and I won it. It was just for me. It was I think it was my birthday, 25th of June, and my friend sent me that, dude, you are on men's health cover. Like, what?
You didn't know?
No, because they didn't contact me. They just released the magazine.
But wait a second.
Because
who did the picture?
No, I took a part of in the.
Because of in the competition.
It was competition, but I didn't know that I won.
Okay.
So my friend sent me MMS back then or something. Dude, you're on a men's health cover. Like, what? Oh, geez, that's the best birthday gift ever. And I was pretty fast, but I always knew about social media stuff. So I just bought some cheap offer on Polish like eBay, Allegro, to create a website. It cost me like €80 to create a website.
Yeah.
And one guy took my pictures because I was also a model. So I had pictures, and I paid one guy to create a personal trainer website because I already noticed that there are some personal trainers, and if I won this, so maybe I could have some extra income. And then people just started to write to me. I bought a good domain. I still own this domain.
What was the name?
It's like personal trainer.pl. But in Polish.
That's a good domain.
I still own this domain. So it started, and at my work, I was a manager. I got fired.
Why? What did you do?
I mean, the company went bankrupt. Not so after that, and I was not that into it, and. And also they knew that I got some new clients, so I will figure out how to earn money.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And they kept one other guy that was maybe spending more time with them, maybe a bit closer. But anyways, and then I started to be a personal trainer full time.
Okay. So that's how you were making
and
your life.
I was a personal trainer for 10 years almost.
10 years.
Until I moved to Sweden.
Okay. But and then then I know that you had a wife.
You had
at
a
that
wife.
moment.
Yeah, I had a wife. Yeah.
You met her during your personal trainer time.
Yeah. I met her on Instagram. There was another on Instagram. There was back then you could actually see what your friends like.
Oh, that
on
was
Explore.
Very bad this time.
Yeah, but it's back right now. That is back, something like that.
Yeah, somehow. But back then they were like receiving a notification on everything that you liked.
And you had it on
good.
Explore, yeah. So
when you were liking some stuff that you didn't want people to know about, that could create a lot of dramas. It created some dramas for me.
Yeah, of course. So
why do you like this girl in this?
Exactly. It was easier for jealous girls.
Yeah.
You have more experience with jealous girls because I guess Polish girls are kind of jealous. Can be.
Yeah,
I still remember.
not
I
Polish
always
girls,
dated
but
some Polish girls, yeah, but not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But your first wife, she was Polish.
I mean, she was born and raised in Sweden, but with Polish parents. And you know the story about the Instagram. So there was another girl, Swedish girl, with also some Polish roots.
Yeah.
But she couldn't speak Polish, so she asked me about some activities in Warsaw because she was going to Warsaw on a bachelorette. And we're supposed to meet, so she liked my pictures, she commented, and my wife followed her because, you know, the Swedish girls with Polish roots. She saw that girl liked my post, and she started to like my post also. Okay. So, and we started to comment each other's posts, like hi handsome, like hi beautiful. And then
Very casual.
And we just started to Skype. And man, it went fast. After 6 months, she moved to Warsaw.
Okay.
Because we decided that I have a better job than she had, and she wanted to live in Poland.
From Sweden, right?
Yeah. She moved from Stockholm. Yeah, that was exciting. Like I would like to have this feeling again
right?
that it just is so smooth that you have, you know, commitment, you have the flow, you know what you're standing on, and right now it's just
Yeah, but I think we're all, a lot of us are coming from this, you know. We had some experience and we almost approached this, I don't know if you were looking for that, but there's this perfect story about things just align very nicely, and also you think they align very nicely. That's the way you feel, at least at the moment. And then everything collapsed. And then you look back, then you're like, oh, it was so much better. Maybe we are romanticizing a bit.
But also there was no dating apps.
Yeah, and I was talking about this with someone very recently about how nice it would be sometimes if like social medias were just disappearing. Like
people have too many options right now, but we also have too many options.
We do, and it's not. When you have known this time where those things didn't exist, or it was just the beginning of it, there was excitement about it, and now we see also the bad aspects of it. We're like,
but we also date younger people that they don't have this experience how it was before. So
yeah, exactly. That's another question. Dating younger girls. Maybe we can talk about that later. What I studied. So I started studying cinema at university in Montpellier. And I remember that for me it was, since I was in small places before, all of a sudden being in a bigger city was like, it was really like some fresh air, you know, a lot of more freedom, I would say. Meeting new people, being able a bit to, if we are talking about clothes, to dress up a bit more like yourself and testing things. And that's where I was testing the Zara suits at university. And
the infamous Zara
suits. And it was a very interesting vibe. Bigger city, bigger people, but I was quickly feeling again that it was too small, or that was not living really the full thing. So after 3 years, I went to Paris, and then it was like quite a jump. But my idea was, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a filmmaker. So it was the only goal that I had in my life. And
but how it looks like is that you can be director, you can be who, like you choose which person on the plan.
It's a bit this word is super blurry, and how you get there can come from anywhere. I could have studied in like technical aspects of it, so that could have helped me in going there. So maybe the camera or the light, for example. There's no real studies to become a scriptwriter. I mean, there are, but on the other hand, if you just write, you will get there. and that's the cheapest way. So that's also why I was writing a lot and I was reading a lot back then. So that was my first mean of expression. And when I arrived to Paris, I was 25. I have made a few films with the university, but then I decided, all right, I need to make like a very nice film. And I wrote it in 1 week, and I put things together, and I directed it. I wrote it, directed it, and I remember. So it was in 8mm with a very, very nice camera, old school camera, a Leica, and the
Fancy.
Yeah, quite fancy. And the camera guy, he was a guy that worked with Godard, Jean-Luc Godard back then. So it was not no one. and the actress that I got was cast then to become the weather girl in for a big channel. So I already had an eye for for the right people, I would say.
So after the
she got cast right after me for this thing, and she became the weather girl for a few times. She was very cool. Her name was Raphael, I remember. And so we made this movie, and another guy also is still working on theater shows, and it's still his job. And so it's by doing basically that you become, and you need to invest a lot of yourself, a lot of money, and it's actually a lot of time that you spend just alone in your room reading and writing and becoming insane because you never go out. Sometimes you reproach me that I don't have a life.
Yeah.
It's because I got used to not having a life, just becoming, being closed in your just own stuff,
Yeah, I'm also like this right now, actually. I'm trying to have a life, but I also have a lot of collapse.
Yeah.
That I need to
when
take
you
care
get
of.
a lot of work, you don't have really so much time to just go out. And I mean, when you live also in the center of the city, it's easier.
I mean, you just need to write it in your calendar that you actually need to have a life also.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty anxious that I have a lot of collapse right now, but I also plan that, okay, I'm not working on it today. I cannot work on it every day because then I will just work and my life will be just work.
Yeah, exactly. It happens quicker than
it was like,
than we think. Actually.
Like this when I was a personal trainer. In the beginning, I worked 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And one of my relationships ended because I didn't have time. But the girl, she didn't have a regular job, so she was a model. Mm-hmm. She was a Playboy model also. And she was just mad at me that I'm working, but I was providing
business.
I was providing.
Exactly.
She was not working full time. She didn't even pay. She didn't pay for anything then. So I was working, but later I decided to have weekends off.
Yeah, when you have your own business, you don't really have the choice.
You have the choice. You need to. I mean, it's hard to say no for
time.
Money.
Yeah, but if you don't put the effort on those weekends that you don't get, it's not going to grow. Of course, at some point you need to have a balance, but sometimes it's difficult because if you had this balance before, maybe you would never have grown so much,
Maybe, but it's Sunday and we are here spending our day
right?
off recording podcast. And
where is our life?
We can have a jingle for that.
The no life jingle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
how old were you when you wrote your first movie?
I mean, I wrote a few before, and we showed them at school. Yeah. This one, I was probably 24 or 25.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Also, like I was 24 when my life just changed with this personal.
Yeah, and I felt back then I was very frustrated. I was feeling that I was very slow on making things happening because I was studying. It was more theoretical studies on cinema, so a lot of brain juice and very intellectual, which it was quite interesting in one way. We're really living this life where you spend your days just talking about theory and being very smart about things and being the smartest and all. But at the end of the day, it felt very empty because what I wanted to do is doing things. It was not just talking about it. And when you are getting 25, you feel, what am I doing with my life? I'm just talking about films and I'm not making stuff, So I was a bit frustrated, so I decided to jump into it, like let's do things. And that was a very nice experience. But then there was some family problems basically, and the idea was like either I'm staying in Paris and I'm in this type of loop where I'm making more and more, I'm getting more and more diplomas from La Sorbonne, nice, very good schools. And I have actually two diplomas because I wrote 2 theses in cinema in La Sorbonne, and I was on my way to get a PhD with one of the greatest teacher.
So you have a master's in...
Yeah, I have 2 masters, and I was writing a PhD, and I was like, my life is like in this type of loophole, and on the other hand, I had some family problems. My parents were basically separating. And we were on the edge of losing our family house. So I was like, either I'm staying in this loophole or I'm going back to south of France just to help my father, because we were about to lose our family house and it was everything we had. So went back in the south, got a small job. I was working in cinema. And just to pay the bills.
In the cinema, in like the building?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And this work would have been the best because it was like it was one of the nicest cinema in the area, and it was an independent cinema. Mm-hmm. So we were playing a lot of movies. It was not too big, but big enough. We were having some actual filmmaker and actors coming sometimes for the premiere. So it could have been very nice, but it was actually very stressful because we were handling the whole thing. You were not only doing one job, you were doing all jobs, including taking care of the projectors. And it could be super stressful sometimes. And there was a very bad ambience in the team. Our superior was, she was super aggressive and she was not giving a good vibe. So it was actually awful times for me.
It happens often when young people get some manager job and they just...
Yeah, exactly.
Cannot handle it.
Yeah, and they do it in the wrong way. They do it in an aggressive way.
Exactly.
And then you have the stress. Sometimes we had like up to 400 people to going into the cinema room in like, we had 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So it was a lot of stress, and there's a lot of regulation also. You're not very flexible with the timings and all, So yeah, it was quite stressful, and also my life was basically going to shit because 1 year before I was like, okay, I'm making movies, I'm starting getting into there, and now I had to stop my studies, I had to stop everything, go back in the house, get a shitty job, and the rest of the time I was just trying to fix the house to sell it. So with my father, we were like some kind of builders. I don't know. So it was very rough times.
To renovate the house.
Yeah, renovate it. It was 500 square meters of a very nice house, but beautiful in the pictures, but it was hell. We were only 2 guys trying to maintain that. So yeah, it was very rough times. You are 20, I was around 25, 26. So your life is really not going somewhere, And on top of that, I met my girlfriend also on social media. And she was living in Sweden, so it was not helping.
But she was not Swedish, or she?
No, exactly. She was Russian.
Okay.
So that didn't help at all. But in a certain way, it was also giving me this idea that I'm not going to stay stuck here, because I didn't want to stay there. And
in Sweden?
No, in France.
In France.
And in a certain way, I was like, yeah, it's going in the direction I want to go. It's like outside of France anyways. I wanted to leave France back then because
you wanted to move to Sweden?
Not necessarily to Sweden. I was never considering Sweden, to be honest.
Me neither.
Right? Who would consider Sweden?
It was always, for me, it was why people even live here is just so cold. But, a lot of Polish people moved to Sweden. My family had a family in Sweden. I always thought that Sweden, is the perfect country and people have a lot of money, but it's a bit bland.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't have a bad impression of Sweden. It's just that I wasn't thinking about it even.
Yeah, you always thought about those more southern
Exactly. I was
countries.
thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to go to Italy or maybe to Spain or something.
Or
like
at
this.
least maybe Germany.
Yeah, Germany could have been the place. I mean, I'm French, so with Germany we have all this. I'm joking.
But we have also bad history with Germany, Polish people.
No, but yeah, exactly. I was not considering Sweden. I didn't know what was there. And as
But have you met her on Instagram?
yeah, it's difficult. I'm not going to talk about everything on camera because there's stuff that are difficult to talk about. But yeah, on Instagram, because back then it was not like, I don't know, things were different. Also, social medias were not as developed. There was not so many influencers or things like this. So it was more personal, your stuff, you know. And when you like someone, you could sometimes talk with this person. We were a bit more innocent back then, you know. You could just have like some kind of pen buddy, you know, like.
Yeah. Also, I remember when I was not in high school, I think in ground school, I had my first computer with modem. And I connected just on ICQ and to chat with people all over the world.
Yeah, right.
Just random people.
Yeah, we were doing this type of thing. And since I was writing a lot, I was some kind of writer, so to speak, for me. And I was maybe a bit romantic. And I was like, yeah, that's just nice to be able to talk with someone that is living far and you can connect. And yeah, back then we were innocent enough to believe that it's possible. And that was just making me go out a bit of my the difficulties in my life at the moment. Little I know that he was just bringing me in more difficulties. But yeah, basically, long story short, when we finally sold the house, I quit my job right away. And the next day we sold the house, I took a car and drove all the way through Germany to Sweden right away. And I found a place just 1 week before in the center of Sweden. I was living in the woods back then for a few months.
With that girl?
Not with that girl. That's also why, yeah, it was difficult. But yeah, basically, I was expecting that maybe we were going to try to live together. But also, she was married.
Okay. Also.
Yeah, by the way, she was married.
So you moved to another, so you just moved to woods because you you expected that you will be with a married girl.
She divorced before I came.
Okay.
Because of me.
Oh.
And I thought, okay, let's do it. And when I came, we were actually separating. I mean, for years it was like this, going back together, separating. I don't really consider that it has ever been my girlfriend, which is crazy because she also did a lot of sacrifices in life so that we could be together. I did a lot of sacrifice in my life to be with her, and I cannot really consider that we have ever really been together, which is insane. But that brought me to Sweden, and I landed in Örebro, so quite central city, not much there, living in the woods, super depressed. I arrived
pretty big city, but Sweden is small, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was coming from a small place.
Like 1 hour, 2 hours from Stockholm, I guess.
Yeah, more than this, more like 3 hours. But yeah, anyway, I'm arriving there middle of winter. So I remember when I drive through, I'm coming from south of France and I arrived in Sweden, drive all day and night. I take a boat at night in Germany, and the next day I arrive in Sweden. And I'm like, it's snow everywhere. There's like animals jumping everywhere. And I'm like, wow, that was exotic for me. Like, crazy.
I have an idea because we have already 45 minutes. So we can stop here and we can start another episode and the second part about our start in Sweden.
Yeah, and I can say how I become a drug dealer also.
Yeah,
I won't tell this.
We cannot say this at least in first 10 seconds. So
that's the 45 last minutes. It's all right. I can say it.
Okay. So, guys, just thank you and see you in another episode of Suit Yourself a Menswear, Not So Menswear this time.
A lifestyle podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
See you there, guys.
Bye.